Everybody, can you see me? Yep. I welcome. Let me introduce myself. My name is Melvin Mark, and I'm current chairman of TBN Asia and co-founder as well. This is something that is actually very exciting for us. This Impact Cafe is basically the grand finale of the whole week of conference that we have been running since Monday. So you are privileged, and we try to gather as many people as possible to come and listen to you. So while people are still coming in, let me give an introduction about TBN. TBN stands for Transformational Business Network Asia. Although we are incorporated in Singapore as a non-profit, but we serve Southeast Asia. Well, it's very obvious because one of the founding places that we started TBN with is actually in Jakarta, Indonesia. So Indonesia holds a very special place in our heart. All right. Now, this is what TBN is all about. Can I have the next slide, please? Dr. Kim Tan basically is really the founder of TBN UK. So he's the originator of this. One of the things that he said is the key to true reform is fighting poverty through enterprise. And that's had always been, our vision, our goal, our objective, our mission statement, fighting poverty through enterprise, because that's the best way to go about doing it. Thank you. The next slide, please. Well, to let you know a bit about transformational business network. Wow, interesting. How come the, all right. The background is kind of like, I couldn't see because the words are not in white, it's kind of like overlap, but doesn't matter. So one of the things that we want to do is really bring forth a collaboration and empowerment through our network. So, TBN basically is a social impact ecosystem builder, but we bring together people into a community. So it's not just a business thing, but we want to develop relationships. And together we want to deal with restoring dignity, bring hope and restoration to whole communities. That's our end objective. Thank you. Next slide, please. Right. Basically, how do we do it? We have what we call 4 pillars. This one that you're in is actually part of what we call events and partnerships, because we run conferences, we run events. Actually, we've got very regular events to not just update people, but to empower people, equip people, and to connect people. All right. So events and partnerships. Then we have what we call the Social Enterprise Training Hub. We work together with John Templeton Foundation of the USA to start Social Enterprise Training Hub. In short, it is called Sept. Basically, it is equipping social enterprises that are revenue generating to be investment ready. So many of our social enterprises represented here are part of the Sept cohort. They are our community, they are our friends, they are our, what we call that, partners together. And out of that, also, we have an expertise network that brings together mentors, business mentors, industry specialists, like those that are involved in supply chain, logistics, the IT, the finance, the legal, the accounting, marketing, and so on, to come and help these social enterprises. And then we're building what we call an investors network. Now, these investors are what we call social impact investors. In other words, they're looking at worthy causes that will come up, that will support. So gathered together of people who are signing up or who have registered already are a host of different people. You've got the sponsors, you've got the investors, potential investors that are around here, you've got the mentors and people who are involved with social enterprises as well. So that's how we all gather together, and it forms an ecosystem. But the social enterprises that we're involved with is actually more than those that are in the training hub, okay? Because TBN has a wider reach. We operate in the whole spectrum, from foundations, philanthropies, all the way to impact funds. Next slide, please. So the Impact Social Enterprise Training Hub is more than an accelerator. In fact, we don't call ourselves that because we basically want to connect our social enterprises with investors. So it's important. We don't actually deal with startup, but we also connect startups on a larger basis. One of the key things about Sept is that not only are we concerned about the enterprise, we are concerned about the entrepreneur himself. That's why there are coaches that are involved with our expertise network, and these coaches basically help us with like teaching the entrepreneur how to do team building, how to do communication, build in value. So it's all part of what we call character formation. Okay, can I have the next slide, please? I don't see the PowerPoint sharing.
One second.
Okay, we are kind of like cut off a bit of a connection here, but doesn't matter. So the key thing really is for us to put all these things together. And one of our, like I say, our highlights of what we're doing is basically make sure that all our impact investors can be connected with our social enterprises. So one of the key things that we are doing is we want to target at least, you know, $1.5 million of investment. Hopefully we can spin that around, right? And deal with 500 new jobs created, 100,000 low-income people served through 20 SMEs, which are the social enterprises. So that's where we are, okay? And I think that's about the introduction I want to make. So I want to hand the time over to actually our moderator, which is really important. I want to introduce to you Stephen Lee. I think you will see him in a short while. Stephen actually is a fellow board member of TBN Asia. He himself is a entrepreneur as well as a social entrepreneur. Great heart for social impact enterprises and social impact investors as well. So without further ado, Stephen, can I hand time over to you?
Thank you, Melvin. Thank you for the introduction. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for your time here with this last lab, which is the Impact Cafe. We have many social enterprise lined up for you. And my name is Stephen, as Melvin just said. I'm your host and moderator. And together with Bernice, very important lady who worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make this Impact Cafe possible. Thank you, Bernice. And each one of this social enterprise will be given 10 to 11 minutes for their presentation, as well as question and answer. And I like to suggest, encourage all of you to listen to their presentation and then post your question in the chat so that I can collect them and moderate from there. But I think before we start the first presenter, I think Bernice, we have a poll, right? To post it. Can we have the poll? Yeah, I'd like to encourage you to do this poll for us so that we know where you come from. As many of the social enterprise, they come from different countries. We have Malaysia, we have from Indonesia, Philippines, and all that. It'll be nice, it will be encouraging to them to, get your support, like where you come from. Are we able to post the result? Oh, we have Malaysian, 50%. Singapore, 4%. Indonesian, well, quite a bit. Thailand. Okay. All right. Well, we can let me introduce the first speaker. Thank you, Bernice. The first speaker is our dear social enterprise. The company name is the Makepeace Bakery. The founder is Angeline Kalamgagwin, and she's so passionate about baking. And I saw some of her product is very nice. But more than that, more than just a product, I think she has a heart for the not well-to-do, trying to help them to start a home business. But without further ado, I like to just leave more time for her to speak for herself. Go ahead, Angeline.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Stevens, for the introduction.
Welcome.
And thank you so much. And I would like to also thank TBN Asia for having me here, and also for our sponsor, Miss Alice. Thank you very much. So my name is Ange Kalungkagin, and I am one of the co-founder of the Makepeace Bakery. The other co-founder is my husband, Marius Kalungkagin. And yeah, by the way, in 2017, it was after a good 10-year run of catering business that our family has run for 10 years. And my husband and I, we thought, hey, why not do something nice, like a business that has a heart? So I'm really into baking and into cake decorating. Prior to that, we study we study baking and culinary arts. And then after that, the Makepeace Bakery was born. So actually, it was a charity project of our catering company, wherein every weekend we bake, and then we sell our baked goods with our customers and friends, and we just send the proceeds to our favorite orphanage. So we kept on doing that for years, and we thought about something. Hey, why not make a business that really helps the people? Why not teach them to fish rather than just giving them fish all the time? So we went to GK Enchanted Farm in Bulacan in the Philippines. It is one of the social enterprise hub in the Philippines, and we stayed there for 3 years, creating, baking, and making with the community. So we lived there with our son, and we started a community bakery there, which is now handled by a family who lives there in Bulacan. And now we moved to the city where we are from. We're in Manila, Quezon City, and we've started our own online bakery. So prior the pandemic happened, we already selling breads, artisan breads, in our online bakery. Next slide, please. Thank you. So we just don't, sell breads, but we want to make bread winners. Next slide, please. So we teach Filipino families the art of baking as a form of their livelihood. In the Philippines, we are very entrepreneurial and we love food. So 70% of the businesses here are comprised of micro and small enterprises, and most of them are food-based, and they operate at home as well. Next slide, please. So, but despite that, there are still low-income women breadwinners. So because they lack in skills, in knowledge, and access in proper food manufacturing. Well, our commitment as bakers and stewards, we want to do good business that does good for others too. Next slide, please. Yeah, our income skyrocketed to 80% since we started our online baking subscription class. So we just don't sell breads, but we teach baking and cooking and food processing as well. And who do we teach it to? Of course, to paying customers and as well to our community members who are from low income to no income. Yeah, next slide, please. So we call that program the Bake It. So if you ask me what is the Bake It, it's an online baking subscription class for kids and the whole family. Everybody now is at home, yeah, doing online stuff. So prior this, we already teaching baking face-to-face with the homeschooling students, yeah. And then pandemic started, we pivoted it online. Next, thank you. So how does it work? It's easy. Just register, buy a bake it that you like or a class that you like. Then we'll send you the guidebook and the Zoom class. And then you log into the scheduled meeting. And there you go. You will see me there baking with you. Recently, we just won in an international cake competition. And 3 of our students won. One of them is our son, Pio. He won bronze. And the only Filipino who won. Next slide, please. So what does it do for others? Well, this is our motto. We learn, we bake, and we share. Next slide. Yeah. So, you know, you can see at the picture that if you subscribe, you're going to have fun and you're going to learn baking. But then again, the Make This Bakery and Bake It's, we will make an impact through contributing to our community members. The breadwinners now will receive trainings, tools, and a lot of webinars from our partners in the government, like Department of Science and Technology and Department of Trade and Industry. Yeah, so our target market is about 48,000 homeschooling families across the Philippines. Homeschooling families are like regular families who go to school, but during the pandemic, they become a lot because, of course, nobody goes to school here anymore. They just online. So they are also part now of the homeschool category. Competitive advantage is that the Bake Kits is very affordable. We offer it for the Filipino families, but of course, because the class is in English, we also offer it in the whole Southeast Asia. Anyway, it's online, yeah? So the teachers is me and my husband, and of course our partners from the Department of Science and Technology. And yeah, we use Zoom as our great help in doing the class. Thank you. Next slide. So imagine if all women breadwinners in the community will have access to proper baking and food manufacturing program, and they can start their own baking or bakery at home. What a world could it be? What a wonderful smelling world could it be? Everybody is baking, everybody is earning. Actually, all of our women members from the community is now earning, and we are now into planning of how are they going to save their hard-earned money. Thanks to TBN and for the connections that they did for us. So these are our needs. We need your dough. So it's just an interactive website which we are doing right now. It's a website that you can just press and you can watch and learn from us anytime you want at any pace you like. Full of clients, local and international. And we love collaboration. We love partnerships. Thank you so much. Yeah, let's learn, bake, share together. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Angeline. That's an interesting presentation. Let me see. Yes, we do have some questions for you. One of those is, do the kids get baking tool kits delivered to them when they subscribe to your training?
Before we did that, but then we find out that it's kind of hard to create all of the the toolkits, you know, the ingredients, or you're gonna pack this flour, you're gonna. So what we're doing right now is we are on hold on the toolkit. What you can purchase with us is that you will be given a very, very nice PDF guidebook with all of the courses that is there. You wouldn't get bored, I promise you. We use shocking colors. And you will get a Zoom link class, of course. Every weekend we will meet just like this. And you will be a member of our private FB group where we share every recipe, everything that your child or you guys did for the week. You can post it there. You can get along with other families as well.
Thank you. Well, another question, you know, some of us may be wondering, you know, your business model is quite good. Are you thinking of any franchise business? Maybe someone in other country wants to franchise your business.
Let us think about it first. Yeah, it is a good model. By the way, subscription model is a very, very interesting business model to do. As I've said, if you wanted to franchise, then maybe just give me a call and then we'll get to that. But here in the Philippines, franchising may take like a lot of time to process, because if we're gonna franchise it abroad, yeah, it needs a lot of documentation and proper stuff and taxes and everything. And we want to do that because we are social entrepreneurs. So we want to be contributing to our community as well and doing the right things as well. So yeah, why not? We welcome you that, but it has to wait though. Thank you.
All right, maybe I have a last question. You know, you have so many online free class, you know, cooking class.
Yeah.
So how do you, why should someone subscribe to yours? Is there any special advantage?
Well, you know, there is a lot. That is true. You can just click on YouTube and there you go, right? You will learn baking. But what we do in the Bake Kits is that we're like families. You know, when our student sees us, actually this morning we had a class and we made cinnamon rolls. So it's one-on-one. After I do the baking or the demo, I will watch now my student do their own. And I will check them. Hi, Ayana, okay, can you please put this there or roll this way? And in that way, the parents like it. It's very personal. And the kids love it because they're like in class. They're like, you know, they don't get bored. Everybody's here. They can talk. They can speak their mind, their hearts, and ask me questions live. But then again, one thing is that's an advantage. But one disadvantage is for the teacher. You know, we're getting a lot of signups now. We're grateful to that. But then again, I cannot just do, you know, 10 classes in a day. So what my husband and I are doing that is the website that we're talking about earlier. So when you press it, I will be there. And then the class goes on. And then every weekend, we will still have a live meeting wherein we can interact with the kids, the family, and everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time. Thank you. Well, all the best to you.
Maraming salamat po.
All right. Well, we have a second social enterprise lineup. Is Ibus, co-founded by Ida Zunaidi. Ida, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, all right. Ida is another passionate lady who like to help the home business. So I'll let her talk about it more. Go ahead, Ida.
Thank you, Stephen. Oh. Hi, everyone. My name is Ida, and I'm a co-founder and CEO of Ibupreneur. We are based in Malaysia. Thank you for your time today to listen to us here at TBN, and also thank you to our sponsor, ActX Explorer. So next. At Ibupreneur, we empower financially dependent and vulnerable mothers with business opportunities by uplifting their skills to become micro-entrepreneurs. And these mothers are oftentimes they're single, retired, and unemployed mothers from the lower income group. Next. So today I'll share with you guys a little bit more about who we are. Secondly, we'll share with you our activities. And lastly, how you can also be part of our impactful journey. Next. So this is how we began, with the story of Ibu Iziana and a few other mothers with similar story. Ibu Iziana is a mother of 5 and she's a micro-entrepreneur. What she does for a living is that she sells jackfruits at the wet market for a living, but oftentimes her business is very traditional. She spent her time and effort more than 8 hours a day just trying to earn 200 ringgit per week. And her business were oftentimes disrupted to jackfruit supplies, which she gets 2 hours away from KL. But then when we saw her determination, we thought that, okay, would you like to learn some baking skills? And we helped to digitize her business, where she learned that she can have more access to the market and earn 4 times more than selling fruits at the market, at the same time taking care of her children. Next. So when we expanded this story and this mission, next, we found that during the COVID-19, vulnerable mothers like Ibu Iziana were the most affected as breadwinners. Next. For example, 75% of them had savings, only 300 ringgit that could last for 4 weeks. Next. And 49% of them depend on these daily wages for basic needs. And lastly, 45% of them reported loss of income during this pandemic because they were selling businesses traditionally at the market. So our vision at Ibupreneur is that we want to become a university for mothers to ensure that they are empowered and are financially independent. Next. So how we do it is, first, we have 2 pillars. One is we take the mothers as product suppliers. We call this at our Ibu Bakes. How it works is that we recruit our vulnerable mothers through partnership with the municipal offices and Useness Social Business Center, which is available at Sunway Education Group. They have the database of B40 mothers and single mothers as well. We train them to ensure they meet hygienes and Ministry of Health requirements with basic needs to ensure that they are baking from home. Then we provide them with additional training skills, baking and business skills, and we help them to improve and develop their products. Then we match them with B2B contracts. So how it works, as you may be curious, is in their operations, we do weekly kitchen audit by the operations team. Then we help them to develop SOPs so that we have clear quality control of the products since the moms are still baking from home. Then the mothers bake and package. Fourthly, then they deliver to the central office for QC. And lastly, they deliver to the customers, and the customers always provide us with supplier scoring system so we can always improve our mothers' processes. Next. Our business model is that we take 40% of the sales revenue from each product. We are relatively still a social enterprise, but up to date, we've managed to contribute 500,000 ringgit back to women economic empowerment, where 60% of the sales are contributed to the moms. We've gained more than 300,000 ringgit contribute to our mothers' businesses. And last year, our profit margins were 33%, but we are committed to grow Ibupreneur as a platform. So this year, we are growing the social enterprise more by investing in talents to help us achieve our goals. In Ibu Bakes, we have 21 mothers now. We have more than 30 B2B customers, in our contract vendor procurement program, and more than 80 lives have been impacted, including the children, elderly, and family members who play a role in the mother's life. So when we first got our seed funding, we've managed to grow our sales generated. We managed to grow 50 times more for each 1 ringgit seed funding. Next. So these are some of the products that we help the mothers to innovate, because we understand that it is a crowded market. So we need to ensure that the moms are coming out with very trendy, new, latest, but very different products as well. And we focus mostly on the confectionery goods. Next. So the second pillar is that we are focusing on education for the mothers, because in Ibu Bakes, we understand that we cannot onboard so many moms as baker suppliers, because we are also in the midst of building our demand. But we do see some moms who still want to learn, but venture into their own entrepreneurship business. And we see also some of our B2B customers, they also want to invest in educational training to have a larger impactful scale towards lower income group women in Malaysia. Next. So how we do it is we do want to have a collaborative ecosystem where when they undergo the 10 module program at Ibus University, they have various graduation track route. First is that they can bake for our retail customers, cafes, hotels. So we have some clients like Mandarin Oriental, Purely Bee, they're the #1 Asia digital health platform. We also have some corporates like BMW, CIMB. If they do not want to be on board with Ibupreneur, we also open the options for them to open their own registered enterprises or sell on other platforms. Next. So our business model for Ibus University is a little bit different than Ibu Bakes. We charge 2,000 ringgit per woman, but the revenues, 95% is subsidized by corporates, and then 5% by participants, just to ensure commitment. So it is an enterprise approach where we have minimal costs, but we are able to ensure that we are earning additional profits to be reinvested back to women economic empowerment. Next. So what are our goals to scale our impact? We have clear focus. We are working towards our demand, as I mentioned. We are pledging 1 million ringgit by Q2 of 2022. And by doing that, we are amping up our business development activities at the moment with cafes, hotels, and corporates. We are in the midst of fundraising. We're not looking for investment because we're still very new. So we are looking for CSR funds, and we are raising 300K by January 2022. And we found 50% of that donation. Lastly, we are focusing on embarking on our Ibus University. Next. So here's some testimonials of our Ibus, similar like Ibu Iziana. Please feel free to check out our website. Next. And we are looking for volunteers to make our goals happen. So please feel free to reach out to me, especially if you're interested in digital marketing, finance, and also business development. Next. So here's my team who are driving the change. We have 3 co-founders, but we have a team of 10 now. Next. So please feel free to reach out, read more about us at www.ibupreneur.co, send us email, and check out our social media websites as well. Thank you.
Thank you for this presentation, Ida. No, I like what your approach to upscale, to really help the mothers to access the market and also improve their livelihood. That's a great. Now we have another 2 minutes, so we have a few questions here. Let me post them one by one. How do you sell the product to corporate? And does every hold on. Does every Ibu have their own product? Is it a mass production?
Yes, every Ibu have their own products. For example, one Ibu, they're focusing on cookies. One Ibu focus on Muruku, so we don't have competition between them. If it's a mass production, recipe is owned by the Ibu, but we do have an agreement. We have a contract with them saying that if they are sick, they are willing to share the recipe, but they're still owning it. At the same time, if it's mass production, if one Ibu is handling that project, she's also a micro entrepreneur herself. So she will find the resources by finding other Ibus to onboard with their project.
That's good. That's good. Now, we still have time. I don't see any more questions. Maybe I would like to ask you a question here. Now, there's so many of these bakery kind of business. What is your advantage in Malaysia?
One of our advantages is that definitely the fact that we are modernizing the traditional recipes, which Malaysians still value. Secondly, we do develop new products like the bun cakes that you've seen. You don't find them here in Malaysia. And we also have a very niche market where we focus on premium market. For example, if we focus with Mandarin Oriental, as an example, we align their mission in localizing our culture with the modernized community. So we know that some of the products is dedicated from Ibupreneur only.
I see. Well, I'm sorry the time is up. I wish we can have more questions for you. Now, participant, you can always contact her. I believe her contact will be posted, so you can keep contacting her. And if there's any question or any help you would like to provide. Thank you, Ida.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Plepa from Indonesia and co-founded by Elmira Zulfika. And she is really someone who turned the waste into packaging product and really fit very well for this day, trying to help, help the environmental. And without further ado, I just like to invite Elmira. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Steven. Thank you so much for the introduction. And thank you for having me today, TBN.
Welcome.
My name is Elmira, and I have a question for you, actually. How many times a week do you buy takeaway food? And what do you do with the packaging after you finish eating? I mean, you mostly throw it away, right? Next, please. The problem is about 600 million packaging are thrown away every month, and the number has only increased during the pandemic. And that's just in major cities of Indonesia. Can you imagine the sheer amount of food packaging waste in Southeast Asia combined? And another problem that has also arisen during any crisis and now the pandemic is people's jobs and economic security. A lot of people were laid off during the pandemic. Next, please. So the solution we propose to tackle these two issues, or we'll try to tackle these two issues, are by providing biodegradable packaging made from an underused agricultural material waste, which are abundant in Indonesia, and the materials are acquired from smallholder farmers and can be produced by local communities to strengthen their livelihood. Next, please. The first agricultural waste material we utilize for our entry point packaging is made from Areca palm leaf sheath. We added value to a material that are usually thrown and burned away, thus reducing the amount of pollution to the atmosphere. Plepa's product is carbon neutral. It degrades within 60 days in soil, and it is also 100% food safe certified. You are able to reuse them if you want to, up to 30 times. Just clean it lightly with water and dry it right away. Next, please. For our pilot project, we started in South Sumatra and Jambi, where there are a lot of Areca palm plantation as the material source, and we work with farmers and communities there for direct visible impact. Next, We also created micro-manufacturing technology system where the machine is appropriate to the community and area's capacity. It's highly efficient, compact, and easily maintained. It is also semi-automatic for women to easily operate. Next, please. We look towards the SDGs as the basis of our impact matrix and measurement. Decent work and economic growth, industry innovation and infrastructure, responsible consumption and production. We currently have impacted 6 women and 2 men in our manufacturing process and have increased their income to $100 a month. We hope to continuously create job opportunities for the underdeveloped communities and increase their income. We recently calculated our carbon footprint as well. So if you use our product, you have already saved an estimated amount of 130 grams of CO2 emission per product in comparison to plastic packaging of similar volume and size. Next, please. Now, currently, our product is at 30 cents because of our low production capacity. We really want to decrease our price point to a more competitive price of around 19 cents by increasing our production capacity to 5 million a year to reach that economic of scale. Next, please. Why 19 cents? Well, this is considered to be like the sweet price point for many F&Bs in Indonesia, and we would like to fulfill demands in our current market and also start acquiring customers in the stage 2 of our market segment, which is medium chains F&B brands such as Hoka Bento, if you're familiar with that, and Burgreens, and they have like a larger demand of packaging each year. We also have plans to export our products because the opportunity for eco-friendly packaging industry worldwide is massive. Next, please. Now, our strength comes for our background, which are creative and business background with years of product development experiences with various SMEs and multimedia tech startups to emphasize innovation. Next, please. We are supported by notable research partners, CSOs, business partners, and also the government. We have also received multiple grants and awards for our product and business. Next, please. Now, on the pipeline, other than continuing product diversification for food packaging, we are also doing research on other unused agricultural waste material. And we are currently at an early stage in researching and developing other packaging for beauty and health industry, and perhaps biodegradable drinking glass, anyone. We are always looking for research and development grants to really push innovation in this sector, and we really need your involvement to be part of the solution in responding to the current issues at hand. How? Next, please. Simply by eating your delicious meal using Pelupas carbon neutral and biodegradable packaging. We, of course, welcome any other type of collaboration and support. Just reach out through our social media or email, and you can also find our products through our website and online marketplace platform Tokopedia Indonesia. Come and join our community, please, and thank you.
Thank you for the presentation, Amira. I do have a question. Well, someone asked a question. Your presentation is in US dollar or Sing dollar?
It's US dollars.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, I saw some of your pricing, right? Are your pricing competitive with the standard plastic material or more expensive?
It's slightly more expensive currently because we are operating in the pricing point with other sustainable packaging, which are still slightly above pricing market for plastic or styrofoam.
How many % more?
In comparison to plastic, and yes. I think plastics, they go down to like 10 cents. So and styrofoam, it goes down to like 3 cents. At least that's the pricing that we are in our research. Yeah. Okay. All right.
So you have a lot of education and campaign to gather the masses to buy into your product.
Yes,
I like your product, but a lot of businesses, they are still focusing on, how do they get their bottom line and all that. Yeah. So now,
understood.
Do you
There's some questions in the chat as well. Thank you so much.
Okay, let me see. Are you looking for any distribution? Oh, yes.
Yes, I mean, always we are very welcome to any type of distribution channels. I mean, we just started. We started at the end of 2019. We kind of launched during the pandemic, actually, and so yeah, we're slowly growing and like navigating through this business, especially during the pandemic. So yeah, we are open for discussion, any distribution points, also like export channels. We are also open to that because currently we are really trying our hardest to increase our capacity for the next year. So yeah, that's where our focus is at now. So we can really like push down that price point to really fit the market.
That'll be great things to do. Yeah, another question is someone is not sure about how you want to collaborate as far as business to business. Can you be more specific on that?
Right. So for business to business, thank you for the question, first of all. I'm not sure what kind of business you are, but we are currently, our market is B2B to for F&B markets right now. And we are also, of course, expanding to health and beauty markets to provide their packaging as well. But yeah, we're still at an early research stage. We are also currently researching with Paragon Indonesia, if you know, in developing the products as well. So yeah, we're always looking, the kind of collaboration we are looking for are usually either research grants or like B2B. If we can, if you are an F&B market, we can provide you with our packaging and things like that.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Somebody is suggesting that, or at least they know that Temasek Foundation can support you. Yeah. Maybe
that would be amazing.
maybe the one who posed the question can lead you to that.
Yes, please. I will leave my contacts also in the chat box.
Okay.
So you can contact me directly.
Another one is let me see. Oh, a lot of hotels now are running sustainable initiative, and they do have some annual KPI to meet. You know, maybe certain percentage has to be sustainable product, packaging product, and all that. And maybe you can contact them. Well, I don't know who is that. Maybe you can help Elmira to make some progress on that.
Yes, definitely. We're always right now, I mean, expanding our connection, expanding our business partners, or any kind of opportunities. We are very open.
Well, we still have a bit of time. Maybe I ask another question. Now, your product, does it meet some international quality and safety standard?
Right. Yeah, that's one of the things that we also have to tackle for international standards, because our material itself, even in Indonesia, it's new. It needs to be also registered still with the Indonesian standard level SMEs. So yeah, and if anyone have information for international standards, of course, we need it when we export our products. That's definitely something that we are actively searching for to really like solidify our product in the international market, and also the importance of this material, and that to make sure that it is really safe for everyone to use, you know. Because yeah, that's the challenge with dealing with new materials that are not widely available in the market. They of course question the where it comes from or how it's processed and everything. And so yeah, we really want to be able to support that by international certifications or yeah, any kind of registered. We are actively looking for that. So if anyone have information about that, especially in the international market, we really welcome that as well.
Yeah, that's great. Now, just a last question. We have a few seconds more. Now, this Erica, this palm leaf, right? Are you the only one who uses this, or the first one who uses it, or has been used before? It's
widely used in India that we know of, and also like there's a company in Malaysia as well. But in Indonesia, we're one of the first one to really take it up to a high scale because some people are like, they just produce a very small amount, but we really are pushing it to gain economic of scale. So yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. All the best to you.
Thank you so much, Stephen. Thank you,
Thank
TBN
you.
Asia.
Okay, next we have next in line is Ekodo. Founder is Laras Wariyaputri. He's another one that is passionate about helping to connect between the B2B. Without further ado, I just like to invite Laras. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Stephen, TBN Asia and ELC for having us. So good day, everyone. I'm Laras from Ekodo. We are building the B2B procurement platform to help micro SMEs to the next level. Before we go further, I would like to introduce you with one of our clients, Pak Satriadi Gunawan, the head of Jakarta Firefighter. Before knowing about Ekodo, Pak Satriadi and Jakarta Firefighter needs to reject thousands of PPE because the previous vendors couldn't meet the standard of their orders. And of course, it's become their pain. So let's continue to the next slide, where I would like to introduce you with one of our micro SMEs owner. His name is Kang Fat. Kang Fat lives in Bandung with a very small house, but he has around 20 Ibus working as the production team, as the tailors, home-based tailors. And what's unique in here, because the Ibus actually working from home, from their living room, saving the PPE. But what's important in here, because we also help Kang Fat, the Ibus, and the other micro SMEs to really meet the standard from the government. We facilitate them with the legal matters to make sure they could meet the standard of PPE based on the inquiries from the clients. And not only that, we not only giving the market access, but after the products ordered by the clients, the B2B clients, somehow micro SMEs face the challenge to produce because big companies somehow only release the PO later without down payment, and it's become the hassle for micro SMEs to produce without down payment. That's why we become the aggregator or hub for micro SMEs to also apply to project microfinance with our partners. And in Ekodo, we already help more than thousands micro SMEs all over Indonesia to have book transaction from B2B clients around more than 700,000 US$. And every day from their house, our micro SMEs could access up to 50 million inquiries every year. And by joining us, they also could increase the revenues up to 600%. And thank you also for TBN, because after 2 months, we joined the Sept program. We finally could achieve funding from the biggest telco company from Indonesia. Next slide, please. And the micro SMEs also could support to produce goods and services for the 12,000 clients, big companies that orders the standardized products from micro SMEs all over Indonesia through Ekodo. Next slide. We sure that the market size of B2B procurement is really big, and we optimistic that we could help more millions micro SMEs in Indonesia to have transactions from B2B clients for about more than 300K transactions, and with average transaction around $300 US$ per client per year. Next slide, please. And what makes us unique comparing to other competitor, the platform of Ekodo.com, because we are B2B, the average basket size of transaction in Ekodo is of course more than the existing e-commerce. And then after the B2B clients once ordered their initial transactions in our platform, they could repeat their order up to 10 times in 1 year. And it could be a wonderful thing to our micro SMEs as well. And of course, one question that always been asking for us is how we could manage the QC. And at that point, we also collaborate with the people in the village to become the inspector or surveyor to help micro SMEs align with the standard product from the clients. That's why we could manage the refund rate with under 1% refund rate. And the business model of EcoDo itself, we have take rates, good take rates around 11 up to 40% per transaction, because we also help the micro SMEs to redesign the product, to market their product, and to the profit as well. We also take it back to educate the micro SMEs to leverage their business further. Next slide, please. And we optimistic that we are the right team to do it, because we have a professional background working in and with professional companies like Lazada, Tickets, and we also have advisors that help us to leverage our business. Next slide, please. And we would like to invite you to support us to support millions home-based businesses together, because currently, because of the lockdown, we kind of challenge to find new micro SMEs. And then in our platform, there are so many inquiries that couldn't match with the micro SMEs, because the current mitras, the current SMEs already fulfill the order from our platform. That's why we have a mission in next year to onboard 1 million other micro SMEs. So we launched the Gerakan UMKM Lokalaris. It's the community-based education program to leverage Indonesia micro SMEs in collaboration with the villagers all over Indonesia. And in terms of scaling up our platform together to access more micro SMEs and B2B clients, currently we are looking to experienced CTO that could be join us. And of course, we also open the opportunity if you would like to become our overseas official partners. So in EcoDo, we believe that a shared economy is the economy of the future, where people can prosper without sacrificing the society. So join the movement and support EcoDo. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Laras, for that presentation. While I want to encourage participants to post your question, if not, let me kickstart with some questions. I like your 1% refund rate. That's very good. And also 40% take rate. That is also very good. So it looks like you have tackled many challenges, right? What if you were to mention 1 or 2 challenges that you need help, what would that be?
Sorry, Stephen, can you repeat?
I say that your takeout rate is 40%, your refund rate is 1%, is very good. Now looks like you're doing quite well. If you were to mention 1 or 2 items that you need help, what would that be?
Well, actually, even though our refund rate is low, we still need the micro SMEs all over Indonesia to have a good mindset. Even though they are small business, they need to understand how to treat the clients better, how to give communication clear to the clients, and then how they could manage the quality, and then keep innovating of the products aligned with the trends of B2B clients. That's why currently we also in collaboration with several product designers from the university, the lecturer of the universities, to really help the micro SMEs to keep update with the current trend, and then to make sure that we also getting the micro SMEs to know how the clients standard, like we inviting the clients to communicate directly with the micro SMEs about the standard in big companies, in big factories, and they could apply it into their small business.
Okay, that's good. All right. There's one more question here. How do you retain loyalty to your company versus like people like Lazada's, Alibaba, and all that?
Thank you for the questions. So to manage the existing clients, we always make sure that the the relationship within us with the clients, not only just the buyer and supplier. Every time they purchase from Ecodu, we always giving them the videos of the micro SMEs who produce the souvenirs, the products that they order, and we also have intensive chat with the clients of every month. We always gaining the survey about what we need to improve, and once we already improve, we also update it to them, and we also always have really intensive chat with the clients, like when the company have a birthday, we deliver something to make them remind for us. And then for retaining the loyalty of our micro SMEs, actually in Indonesia, it's still very respective if we could invite the local SME to makan-makan or have a dinner together, or just come to their place and communicate with them, and really bridge the communication, not only just buyer and supplier. And I think that's the value that we always need to keep after maybe next step we will get bigger.
Okay. One more question is, how many people in your team right now? It sounds like quite labor intensive, your business.
So actually, before semester 2, we only have a 14 team, and currently we have 23 because we onboarding a new in-house IT. And then if you concerned about the labor intensive, actually we have partnership with the villager people that could manage as the freelancer to inspect the micro SMEs, to onboard them, and to educate our application or technology to the micro SMEs. And it's also become a new opportunity, labor opportunity for the village people, because in this terms of pandemic, it's very hard for them to travel to the city to find a new job.
I see. So you equip them, and they will help you to train or check some of the product. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, Stephen.
All right. Thank you very much. Sorry, your time is up. All the best to you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Okay. Next in line we have Musim Panian, founded by Erdi Pratama. Here's another one who is very passionate about essential oil and also helping the farmer to improve their income level. So without further ado, let me just Erdi, just go ahead, please.
Okay. Thanks, Stephen. Hi everyone. Nice to meet you all. First of all, I want to thank our sponsors, TBN and ELC, for giving us opportunities to speak on today's session. I'm Erdi from MPA Natural. We are an integrated natural ingredients sourcing platform to help industries source their raw materials sustainably. Next slide, please. Okay, this is Pak Imam. He is head of farmers groups in Sumberkarya village in South Sumatra. Most of the farmers on this location plant rubber and coffee since a decade ago. But we know rubber price and production is declining. And next slide. Meanwhile, coffee can be only harvested like once a year. Moreover, in hard times like today, there will be a month when some farmers even didn't have money to buy rice. And there's many farmers like Pak Imam and his fellow around Indonesia, especially in rural and forest areas. Farmers need alternative commodities to get monthly income to support their livelihood. Next. Okay. The answer is essential oils and spices commodities. Because it has high value, it can be processed and easy to deliver to customers in any location. and it needed by flavor and fragrance companies, both in local or international market. For the past years, these sectors face difficulties to source their raw materials sustainably, caused by two things. First, limited access to credible information to farmers and suppliers, and second one, there's up to 3 middlemen before they able to get the end products. Yeah, so back to Sumberkarya Village in 2020, we encourage farmers to plant citronella. Citronella is one of essential oil plants, and you can process it to become an essential oil. So we encourage farmers to plant citronella between young coffee trees. Then we buy the leaves and to produce the essential oil. The result is we can double farmers' income from $150 per month to $300 per month. With this model, MB Natural able to solve problems from both sides. Farmers will get better commodities and market sustainability. Meanwhile, our buyers will get supply sustainability with consistent qualities. Currently, our main products are citronella and patchouli oils that we produce and develop together with our farmers. Besides that, we also have other products that we get from farmers and local manufacturers, ranging from taste and aroma ingredients. If we talk about the market size of citronella and patchouli oil, it's equal to more than $100 million. And we will focus to get 6% market share of it in the next 3 years. To achieve that goals, we already secured 3 companies to become our customers. The agreement can potentially deliver up to 6 million annual revenue for us. We have 2 business models. First, we sell production input such as seeds or machineries to our farmers. Second, we produce or trade essential oils and spices, then sell it directly to flavor fragrance companies. For now, there are no direct competitors for us in natural ingredient sector because it has different characteristics compared to other agricultural products. Currently we utilize 100 hectares of land and empower more than 50 farmers. Next, in the next 3 years, we plan to grow it by 10 times. We begin our journey in 2018 by only producing small scale of essential oil. At the end of the year, we won Young Social Entrepreneur competition held by SIF and got grants to expand our impacts and production. Next. Now, we aim to triple our revenue each year, increase our production capacities, and add new ingredients into our portfolio for beauty and food sectors. MB Natural, founded by myself, RD, with focus on the business side, and my co-founder, RD. Yes, my partner's name almost similar to me, RD and RD. And RD focus is with on operational side. Our goal is to become biodiversity hub to commercialize Indonesia's authentic taste and aroma ingredients. Therefore, we want to provide end-to-end solution on natural ingredient supply chain, not only help our customers, but also by helping farmers and small manufacturers by providing them access to technology, certification, and capital. So if you have demand for any essential oils in your countries, like spices or any ingredients that related to cosmetics, spices, essential oil, you can contact us and help us to deliver diverse taste and aroma from Indonesia to the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Erdi. That was a great presentation. I don't see any question coming in. While participants do post your question and so that we can get this conversation going. Maybe I will start first. Now you mentioned that you have some extraction facility and all that, and extracting oil and sell it to the company that needs to mix essential oil.
Yeah.
how do you get a fund, or how are this factory be funded?
Okay. Yes, we have
Currently.
angel investors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
currently.
Thanks, Stephen, for the question. So yes, we have right now we have angel investors that help us to fund the factory. So yeah, but not the fund is going to the project, the production, but not going to our companies as an equity.
Okay, and how do they get their return?
Okay, so they get the return from the profit share. So let's say per month our profits is like 22,000 Sing dollars, and they get like 50% of it.
Oh, okay. So if somebody wants to partner with you in this project basis, it's possible.
Yes, it's possible. It's possible.
Okay. Someone asked this question: is it difficult to harvest citronella?
Oh, it's easy. Actually, it's easy. But we need to train the farmers so they're able to harvest it like precisely and efficiently.
And maybe you can share with us how long that tree can last, or how many times per year you can harvest.
Okay, thanks for the question. So for citronella, after we plant it, it takes about 6 months before we can harvest it. So 6 months, and then we can harvest it per 3 months. Yeah, so per 3 months we can harvest the leaves and process it to become an essential oil. And the citronella itself, it can last for about 5 years.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's quite a good time for. So after that, you will have to seed them again.
Yeah, after 5 years, you need to replant it again.
Do you have to wait for a while for the land to rest, or just straight away seed again?
No. I think it's better to wait for 3 months before we plant it again.
Okay. All right. Any more question coming in? How does a farmer sustain as they have to upfront commitments and crop maintenance before they can receive the profit? How does farmers? Yes, you did you hear the question?
Yeah, sorry, can you repeat it again?
How does a farmer sustain as they have to upfront commitment and crop maintenance before they receive the profit?
Okay, so yeah, so when we encourage farmers to plant citronella, actually it becomes their additional income. So they already have like main income from coffee and rubber, and they plant citronella for additional income. So yes, we have the commitment from them. We sign a contract with the farmers, and because we tell farmers, because farmers already know what they will get from farming citronella. So for analogy, when they got money from coffee, they use the money for daily needs. But when they get money from citronella, they use it for like additional need. Some farmers they want to buy new motorcycles, but there's also farmers that they get money from citronella and use it for buy rice because they don't have any coffee trees. Yeah.
But the question is more like, how long do we have to wait before they get the money?
Oh, okay, only 6 months. 6 months.
So they plan for 6 months and they can get the money after 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let me see. How does the farmer? Okay. Any more question coming in? We still got time for one more question. Maybe last question. Maybe is there any? What is your biggest challenge, or are your biggest challenges?
Okay, so yes, our biggest challenges right now is we want to increase our production capacities, but for now if we want to increase our production capacities, we need to grow our team also, because we need to encourage farmers. It takes time to talk with the farmers. because we need to educate the farmers about the plan, what they will get. So yeah, our biggest challenges right now is from the supply side, because we need teams to grow our team to engage more to farmers.
Okay, so it's a farmers there is a challenge that you need to engage them and plant the citronella, but on your extraction side, it's not a problem. You have
No,
enough
it's not a
capacity.
problem. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, there's no more question. I think that's about it. All the best to you, Eddie.
Thanks, Stephen.
And if anyone wants to help Eddie, you can contact him. Hello. We have some exciting things coming out, I guess. Okay, last we have last but not least, at least for my portion, and then I will pass it on to Melvin for the rest of this room 2 session. The next one is Kita Hebat, co-founded by Andres Saputro. He's another one that is very conscious about Medan City and wants to make a change. And in fact, he is making changes by recycling some of the product into essential oil and some of the COVID-19 product. So I would like to invite Andres, please go ahead.
Okay. Horas, greetings from Medan City, North Sumatra, Indonesia. First of all, we would like to express gratitude for our sponsors to give us exhibition opportunity and to talk today. We are a private limited company, 5 years old social enterprise, registered brand Kita Hebat in Indonesia. We do upcycle food waste to eco-friendly products by empowering the beneficiaries in accordance to United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, no poverty, quality education, reduce inequality and inequity, responsible consumption and productions, and climate action. I am Sukendro Saputro, CEO Kita Hebat.
I am Lily, CFO Kita Hebat. Our organization structure is like three-dimensional ball in which volunteers and beneficiaries could act as management team that consists of 20 people now and vice versa in some extent.
Here are the problems. COVID-19 is spreading. Unfortunately, most soaps and sanitizer and disinfectant in the market are not eco-friendly. The crime rate increased due to poverty. There are thousands of young women, low-income family, special needs teens are facing inequity and inequality. Medan City was acknowledged as the dirtiest and the most inconvenient metropolitan city in Indonesia 2 years ago. People are stressed out due to losing jobs, disaster due to the climate change.
We address the problems by creating shared value for beneficiaries and customers. The resources, which is food waste transformed to eco-friendly products, will create social value to beneficiary. The social donor, for example, from DBS Foundation, Women Earth Alliance, Danamon Bank, CSR, etc., are used for beneficiary school education and working capital. For example, research and development innovation. In our community, we did biogas from cow dung to help solve climate change problems. Likewise, we have partnership with 11 grassroots community to enhance production capacity in delivering commercial value proposition to customer. The using of apps will satisfy customer segment to generate revenue. The 30% revenue that come from social donors and the 70% from customer segment will be invested back to resources.
Okay, this is what Lily are talking about. It's about how the business model address the problems. Our historical impact and the impact projection, which are the number of beneficiaries, their earnings per day, and the waste intake, shows increasing trends. Our goal is to serve 500,000 customers who are aware of sustainability and proud of using eco-friendly products. It's not only increasing revenue through selling the products, but also through the educating the community.
The food waste was collected from traditional market, restaurants, and transported to several grassroots communities to be processed by 130 beneficiaries consist of young women, special needs teens, householders, low-income family. Afterwards, the finished product was sent to us for quality check purpose. Once it is ready, it will be marketed to B2C e-commerce, contribute about 70% sales, and B2B such as hotel, restaurants, corporation, etc.
We have almost 30 products transformed from food waste, and they are categorized in 4 segments: fertilizer products, disinfectant products, detox products, and other products. Presently, we are focusing on disinfectant and detox products, which categorized as personal care products. Medan City Mayor, who is also the son-in-law of Indonesian President, support us too in promoting Kita Hebat products.
Thanks to the funding of DBS Foundation, we are able to sell to the areas that are not yet our reach. Our best-selling, eco-friendly, and quality products are Eco Hand Soap and Hand Sanitizer, 98% effective in fighting COVID-19, preventing bacteria and viruses. It's natural, safe, and non-alcohol made. Organic body butter cream for dry and normal skin, available in 3 variants: for sleeping well and stress relief, anti-mosquito, antiseptic, antioxidant, and disinfectant. Eco Soap Bar is effective to cleanse face and body, acne, and anti-aging, anti-inflammations. Eco Enzyme is found by Dr. Raksupon Pompanpong from Thailand, effective in general cleaning and air purifying.
Our captive is the market. The obtainable market is about 270,000 Sing dollar in 2 years' time. However, with the labor-intensive worker, as you can see on the screen, for example, transporting waste with trolley cart every day, it's very challenging for us to scale up.
Therefore, we need funds about 100,000 Sing dollar for working capital to turn manual jobs to semi-automation process. The return on investment will be twice in 2 years after investment.
Do you know that you could be part of our team? If you have the same mission, environment, sustainability, and creating jobs to alleviate poverty, join us as consultant, volunteers, website application developers, database specialists, and senior system support. Kita hebat, Aras. Thank you.
Thank you, Andres.
We open now for Q&A.
Thank you for your, well, it's open for question right now. Participant, would like to encourage you to keep posting your question. Let me just ask a few questions here. Now, how do you ensure the quality of your product? Is there any certifications, international certification or Indonesian certification right now for your product?
We have difficulties right now in getting the distribution license since most of our products are food waste derived, and we get the Sukovindo check of all of the items. For example, if you want to know how much the percentage of the cadmium, what is the percentage of the materials here, they can check it. But to get the exact standard in the 10% range, which is required the BPOM, it's quite difficult for us at this moment. So we only have the Sukovindo data, but not the BPOM data or the BPOM distribution license in ensure the quality of the products or the distributions of the products.
Let me understand. So you don't have the certification, but
for distribution, but we have the certification from Sukovindo that what is the ingredients of these products, how much is the chlorophyll inside, for example. So there is no distributions permit license yet from the BPOM.
Okay, so we
are still in the process of registering it, but it takes time. It's not so fast in getting the permit.
Okay, so you are still allowed to sell it within Medan?
Yes.
But you're not allowed to sell to other provinces?
We are selling also across Indonesia right now. And there is no complaint in the last 5 years. Most people are happy and they did repeat order because we put all the ingredients here.
I see.
Mention to them what is the contents of these products.
Okay. So what is so unique about your product that the people should buy from you instead of buy from some certified product, eco-friendly certified product?
If you are doing food waste industry, I don't think it is available to get the same standard because, for example, the same pineapple that you got from one market will be different in the ingredients 3 months later because we need to do fermentation. One which is collected in the dry season will be different in the wet season. Even from the same market, the quality of the product is also not the same. And this is the problems when we are doing the food waste programs. The standard which is under the 10% of the difference is quite difficult to achieve.
Oh, so what
the
you're
difference
saying
is when the customer use it, they are happy with it. For example, if we mention here that the hand sanitizer that I use it, it is fragrance very good, and they use it and then it's really effective. For example, this hand sanitizer is made of ecoenzyme and there is a journal of ecoenzyme and many journals on it already. So we can use it as a proven method in selling to the customer.
I see. Okay. Now, just how you mentioned about the two certification, I don't quite understand what is the difference between the two certifications, Sukovindo and BPOM.
Sukovindo is the body that measure the ingredients of each products. For example, how much alcohol inside it, what is the elements inside it, what is the ingredients inside it. But when you want to distribute to the market, you need BPOM certificate, distribution permit.
Oh, I see.
For the quality checking, we have the quality checking. Everybody knows what is the content of the products. But when you want to distribute, it's quite difficult because they need the standards.
So
and it should not be more than 10%.
All right. So Sukovindo is the in a way is
certification body
Indonesian body to measure the content of your product.
Yes, correct.
And then the BPOM is the distribution. What do they require there?
Of course, they require the standard. For example, you want to say is alcohol made. How much is the alcohol? You say pH meter, power of hydrogen. How many percentage of difference in your power of hydrogen on your products, the first product to the second product 3 months later?
Oh, I see. Yeah, somebody help me with that. BPOM is like a FDA in America. So there's a certifying body there. Okay, understand. All right. Okay, I think that's about it. The time for you is 2:30. We are on time for the second part of room 2. Melvin, are you there?
Yep.
Okay, I'll pass the time to Melvin and he will continue on with the second part of room 2. All the best.
Thank you, Stephen. Wow, excellent time management. And we get everybody to be able to decently present, but for us For others who want to really connect and know more, get involved with them, whether it's giving your time, your talent and treasure, it's a great time to connect. If you really miss their link and connection, well, come to TBN Asia and then we will help you to link. All right, we have got 7 more social enterprises to go. All right, this concerns the sectors of fashion, training and recruitment, as well as arts. And so important, so interesting that as you listen to them, each one of them has a social cause, and it will get involved with you very much. Okay, so once again, my name is Melvin Mark. I'm the current chairman of TBN Asia, and really this is a grand finale. Okay, you are in room 2 of 2 rooms that are running concurrently, social enterprises, just sharing with people. And in all the rooms, we have at least about more than 70 people who are logged in. So there are people represented here that are from different nations, different countries, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Southeast Asian nations largely. And then we have really a spread of volunteers, a spread of people who are interested to help, spread of mentors here, as well as some potential social impact investors. So it's a great time as you speak to them. I would advise you, keep to the time, but speak and ask yourself, what do you want of us who are listening, right? So without further ado, let me just introduce the fashion first, using fashion as a social impact. Okay, and we have Sharon from Earth Sharon from Malaysia, great friend. We have Sasibai. Okay, so without further ado, Sharon, over to you.
Thanks, Marvin. Hi, everyone. So it's such a privilege to be here. I think we need to share screen. All right, okay, cool. It's just such a privilege to be here. I'm Sharon, as Marvin introduced. I'm Sharon from Earth Air. And before I actually begin, let me just say a big thank you to the sponsors for today, and also for TBN and ELC for us to be able to share a little bit for ourselves at this Impact Cafe and also throughout the conference. Okay, next slide, please. Thank you. So, celebrating craftsmanship. So, Earth Air actually begins with appreciation for people, craft peoples and actual artisans who spend years honing their, skills in creating masterpieces. Earth Air actually aims, right, to actually, by blending designs, training, social, enterprises, and also by fair trades, right, to actually revive and raise the value of heritage craftsmanship. Okay, so we believe in human connections, stewardship in environmental stewardship, and also like preserving the heritage. This is what we really look into. So next slide. So next slide, please. And that's where our vision is to build nations and generations as heirs of the earth, right? So next slide. Why this industry? Why this? Why fashion? Why the artisans? So basically, it's because they lack market access. There's so many artisans out there, but they lack market access, and then they actually have insufficient income. So a lot of the artisans actually only gets 2 to 3% of the retail prices as their income. And then potentially there's also lack of attractive designs. So the designs that is probably very, very rooted to their own culture and heritage, but we need to have a bit of modern twist, right? So sometimes to attract more people, and also the dying of the traditional arts. So these are actually some of the challenges that is faced by the artisans themselves. So next slide, please. And then, but we have opportunities where, sorry, next slide. We have opportunities. So opportunities market, we have ethical fashion market size actually of 32 billion USD a year. So that is actually a very big market there. And with the sustainable development goals, right, people are focusing into this now, where we have market demands for ethical products and transparency. Then artisans is actually the second largest opportunity for poverty reduction. And also like we want to generate, more people want to generate more income for them and also preserve culture. So this is our opportunity. Next slide, thank you. And then that's where Earth Air comes into place. So our positioning, so we are actually a fair trade certified company. We really hold on to transparency in our pricing. We want to create that story, you know, the modern and fine craftsmanship to really raise that value of craftsmanship and also have a strong storytelling of the artisans themselves. So, you know, they are not just a souvenir, they are not just a poorly designed, they are not just a handicraft, but they can be fashion and high end. So this is where our position is. Next slide, thank you. And as I mentioned just now, we really follow very closely with the fair trade principles. So we are actually the first Malaysian company, social enterprise, right, to be fair trade certified by WFTO. Next slide. We actually opened our first fair trade boutique last year. So for those of you in Malaysia, we actually have our studio in Ampang. Next slide, thank you. And our business model. So how we work in this area is that we will collaborate with the artisans on the designs of the products, and also we will procure raw materials. And then we will train them and also purchase the pieces from the artisans. And other than that, we also work with disadvantaged people throughout our supply chain. And we sell the products to B2C and B2B on various channels. So our main channel right now is our e-commerce site, which is earthair.com. And also 10% of our profits, right, actually goes back to the artisans for their welfare and charities for addressing social and environmental issues. And this is aside from their incomes that they already receiving. All right, so next slide, please. Thank you. And this is some of the products. Sorry, this is some of the products. Just now, there's a slide that just now shows that some of our products that we the products that we are doing. Other than actually working with the local artisan, we also work with refugee artisans. So refugee artisans, we actually partner with UNHCR since 2017 in a program called Made 51. So all the Made 51 products. Sorry, next slide. All the Made 51 products are actually done by refugee artisans in Malaysia. So we will teach them how to do like handcrafts, you know, artisans like jewelry. So mainly at the moment, it's jewelry for our refugee artisans. Okay, next slide, thank you. This is the impact data that we have. So we have been impacting since 2013, where we started establishing Earth Air. We have been trying to measure all our impact. So in last year, as you can see, we are growing in our impact and how we are generating income for the artisans. So last year we made about 197,000, so almost 200,000. And then we also trained the artisans. We trained 50 new artisans last year on design, on pricing, on marketing, and also on quality control. Obviously, as we mentioned, we want to give back to the environment as well. So we planted about 1,200 trees last year. And we really spent a lot of hours collaborating with the artisans and creating new products. Yeah. So this is our impact data that we have measured last year. And next slide. And this is our team. This is me. So I'm the head of business for Earth Air, and obviously Sasi is the founder and the chief innovation officer. So we really, it's a small team, and just the four of us actually, but we really work really hard in creating this amazing platform to really reach out to people about artisans. So next slide. Just quickly, this is some of the awards for being awarded by the British Councils and various awards for our products and also our work, and we've been featured in various articles and media coverage, and some of our corporate clients as well, because we do not just to B2C but also B2B. All right, next one. So what are we looking for? Next slide. So we are definitely looking for wholesale or retail opportunities, whether it's local, regional, or even international. If you guys really like our product, do come to our website or even get in touch with us to get the catalog so you can have a look. We're also looking for ethical procurement for corporate events. So as I mentioned, we do not just B2C but B2B. So if you guys have any events, that you want to really include our products, we're more than happy. Speaking engagement, so Sasi is a really good speaker in this area of sustainability and heritage fashion and in this area. So she's, we are looking for that. And also we can looking for grants funding for artisan training. So as I mentioned earlier, we train them on pricing, design, marketing, and also product quality control. So we want to train them not just our own artisans, but we want to train non-Earth Air artisans so that they can grow on their own, can do what we do on their own. So we are looking for grants for that. So that's all we're looking for. I mean, even collaboration or any partnerships or opportunities that you guys may think that Earth Air is suitable for, we are also open for it. Can go to the next slide. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sharon. Unfortunately, we just kind of like run out of time for the others. But I tell you what, the best thing you all can do is go and buy the products. It's really good quality. If you are thinking of buying a Birkin, buying a Prada, forget it. Go and buy a product from Earth Air. My wife has bought one. It's excellent condition. Okay, and she loves using it.
Go look our website here, and also if you want to, just email us as well.
Yes, thank you so much, Sharon. And that's in Malaysia, but the equivalent of that in Indonesia is what I would bring on a good friend of mine, very young lady. Her name is Tamara Gondo, and she's running Liberty Society from Indonesia. So over to you, Tamara.
Thank you, Pastor Melvin. Good to be here, everybody. My name is Tamara Wu, and I'll be sharing about Liberty Society. David, if you can help me.
Okay, yep, that's it. Can we help her put in the PowerPoint? Yeah, okay, got it.
Thank you. Okay, I'll just start. In 2020, next slide, please. In 2020, nearly 14,000 refugees fled their war-torn homes to settle in Indonesia. But when they arrived, they were met with unsupportive policies which left them with zero income, trapping them into the cycle of poverty and illiteracy. That's why Liberty Society was born, with the mission to use fashion for freedom. Next slide. In our House of Liberty, which is based in Jakarta, we equip refugee women with the skills to produce sustainable fashion. We see the market potential as is projected with the global ethical fashion market size, about 15 billion US dollar. And there's a rising trend of consumer that will focus on ethical and sustainable based purchases. Here, these women are given a chance to earn dignified livelihood alongside our majority female team and gain access to the market. I'll pause first and wait for the slides to show.
Sorry, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Okay, we get our Zoom tech team to get on it. Don't worry, we'll give you back your time. Zoom tech, are you okay? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I'll resume. As we see, the pandemic has caused the market to shift towards value-based purchases. So now more than ever, we want to highlight the stories of the makers that we empower behind the products to both corporates and consumers alike. Next slide. The solution that we bring is in our House by Liberty, where we work together with refugees and local artisans. We help them with demand generation, with marketing, storytelling, and connecting them to the market. Next slide. Our vision is to be the #1 eco-friendly B2B supplier in Southeast Asia. We have trained, next slide, more than 50 women, the highest earner from which receives 4.2 million rupiah per month. Our makers have been able to send 30 of their children to school. And by 2024, our women will be able to work for at least, we'll have an increase in income by 3 to 4 times, which is also the current average. Our definition of success is for our makers as well for their next generation to live a better life than the one that they have leaving home. Next slide. This is one of our work with Uniqlo and an FMCG company here in Indonesia called Teh Botol Sastro. What we're able to do with them is focus on circular fashion. For companies who are looking to offset waste, we help them by making sure that they have ethical production while sourcing for them their waste to become products. Next. This is our traction. Our revenue grew 400% in 1 year despite the pandemic, with a total sales of $90,000 US. Our highly monthly sales is last month on July, 32,000 by a single company order size who work with us in average 4 times a year. By 2025, we project to hit $500,000 revenue by investing in these growth levers. Next. Before I go to the fundraising ask, this is our commitment for impact. It's increasing the dollar per maker, increasing the number of upcycled fabric that we're able to reuse, and also making sure kids go to school. Next. At the moment, with only being able to fulfill 50% of our demand in-house, we want to grow in our capacity of production, increasing it into 3 times to reach 10,000 units per month. At the moment, we're only reaching about 3,000, 4,000 a month. We want to also hire a sales and marketing team and invest in IT to increase product stickiness for our consumer to work with us. Before I end, I'd love to show you the faces of who work in our team. Next. So here I have myself with a background of 7 years in community development, my partner Karen, who focuses on the social media, branding, influencer marketing. We also have here our management team, Kathleen from KPMG, and she focuses on all operations. Matthew with a background working with companies like Nike and what he does in upcycling their products. 2 of our advisors are Bon Leong and Sharon Lim. I'd like to thank Sharon Lim as well for being our sponsor to make us be able to speak here. And we really hope, you can stop presenting the screen. We really hope that we would be able to meet like-minded people to support us, whether in human resource or whether you'd like to talk to us in regards to partnership. And thank you.
Well, thank you, Tamara. It's great. You know, we've worked with Tamara for quite a while, and she's really part of our TBN community. Really appreciate that. I don't think there are any questions that are being posted, but it doesn't matter because it's a great social enterprise to give your time, talent, and treasure to support, because they work with all the displaced and refugee women that are around, very worthy of that, and there are already, you know, people coming in alongside to help them, because this business that she has and is being put in the heart is really something that's scalable. Okay, thank you so much, Tamara. I think if there are any questions, please contact Tamara directly. You can see the website Liberty Society. All right, setting the captives free, and that's the whole idea of it. Thank you so much. There are a few more fashion kind of social enterprises, but right now we want to focus on training and recruitment. Back to Malaysia, from Indonesia to Malaysia, and we have dialogue from the Dadab. Stevens Chan, dialogue from the Dadab, yes, working with those who are visibly incapacitated. Over to you, Stevens.
Good afternoon. Is the slides up? Sorry.
Okay, your slides coming up.
Okay, good afternoon. Are you aware that 1 out of 7 people globally in the world is disabled? Imagine India, 1.3 billion people. Imagine all of them are disabled. That's the number of disabled people in the world today. Next slide, please. And one day, before we die, we are all going to be disabled, either through aging, either through illness, possibly accident. Next slide, please. My name is Steven. I was a former banker turned entrepreneur when I ran my own direct sales and marketing consulting firm until I lost my eyesight at the age of 45 due to glaucoma, which is also known as the silent tip of sight. It's also the world's leading cause of irreversible blindness. With the loss of sight came the loss of hope, but thank God for His grace and mercy, I slowly but surely came out of blindness. And with the love and support from my wife, I answered this new calling in my life. And this calling is to serve. Next slide, please. To serve the people with disability, to serve the glaucoma patients, and serve the children and youths with all forms of disabilities. And I have this dream. And this dream is to turn these inequalities into a space of equalities. Everybody have equal access. And that's our dream. That's my dream, to make this place a better place for everyone. Yeah, and our vision, next slide, please, is to transform seen and unseen disabilities into potentials. Next slide, please. Through missions of collaboration, that's where we partnered with both local and foreign partners from the social, private, public, and education sectors to yield even more educated and financially independent children, youths, and adults with all forms of disabilities and medical conditions with dignity. We want them to be elevated out of poverty. That has been our mission. And to sustain our mission, next slide, please. We run pre-COVID a discovery center, which is also called DR. In short, it's the name for Dialogue Includes All Discovery Center. Imagine a discovery center where you can get to discover and experience perhaps a walk in the dark, where you will learn and experience to use other senses to walk, to learn and communicate with your face, and perhaps even with signals, to experience how it is like picking up a set of keys when you're old, 70 years old, perhaps 1.5 times your current weight now. How does your grandma or grandpa walk up the stairs? Or even when you are sitting on a wheelchair, how do you navigate around little barriers like a little bump? All this discovery experience is not for the people to discover how it is like to be disabled, but through this discovery experience to see potentials, to see capabilities in others, and perhaps even your own traits of resilience, which you may not think you may have. And through this Discovery Center, we earn our revenues from running paid tours, like how I shared the experience earlier. We also do special events like team building workshops, education workshop for schools, university, colleges, and fun events like dinner, birthday parties. Yeah, and all these revenues are channeled towards our social impact missions to educate and also to enable the disabled community. Next slide, please. And we need help. We need contributions. We need investment to help us rebuild, relaunch, and reopen our Discovery Center to impact even more disabled people, to impact even more people, and to make this place a better place for everybody, since all of us has a potential to be a disabled one day, to have empathy for others. And this is what we are looking for, an investment to help us rebuild, relaunch, reopen. Last slide. Thank you all for listening. Help us to build impact and generate hope. Lastly, I want to thank the sponsors for making my pitch possible today and for sponsoring our booth. Thank you, and God bless you all for listening.
Thank you, Stevens. Thank you for sharing. Dialogue in the Dark is a great impact experience even by itself. Okay, I mean, if this facility, the DIA, is in Singapore, it will be what we would call an impact experience or impact attraction, which is, you know, along the lines of tourism. And I'm not sure whether Malaysia has something like what we call our SRVs, you know, Singapore Rediscover vouchers, where government give money for people to spend to help the tourism industry. It would be great if there's something there in Malaysia like that, and people can use that.
Yeah,
Do
I
that.
hope so too. We pray for
Yeah,
that.
that'd be great. Okay, is there any question for that? I think that Stevens have already posted some of the needs that he has. So one of those things is, if you are from Singapore, refer to your friends in Malaysia to go and visit, to go and have a connection with a Dialogue in the Dark with Stevens. Okay, if you are in Malaysia or the more, please come alongside and see how can help him with grant funding.
Yes, please. Please
Yeah,
get in touch with us. Yeah.
that's right. That's right. Well, okay, if there isn't any, thank you so much, Stevens, for taking the journey with us at TBN. And we really
you.
long to see that first you get a kind of a blended finance support that will come alongside. Okay, one question is, what are the ways that disabled can help earn a living? How can we help? All right. Well, we try not to use the term disabled. I think for those that are like blind, can see, we use PWD. Okay, it's being put down there. Thank you so much. Stevens, you want to respond to that?
Well, basically what they need is empathy. Yeah, accept them, aware that they are also capable. Do your part to train them, teach them, share with them how to make a living. Yeah, share your experience to them. I think that is what they need, your acceptance and your awareness.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think one of those journey would be in order to understand, you need to be on the ground, because like we say, you want to help. It's not just an armchair thing. I mean, this is a good dialogue where you actually can get involved with the social enterprises directly already, but it would be great if you go and see them, see what they're doing and talk to them. All right. So thank you so much. I think right now that's about the time that we can have. I think it's really important because there are a lot of people who are suffering from glaucoma, right? And so it's so important to know that every sector and every person has a right, have a dignity of livelihood, of economic empowerment as well. So when we enable them, I think your efforts will be multiplied many times in heaven. All right, thank you so much. And right now we have another social enterprise that's involved with training and recruitment. We have right now from Malaysia, we go back to Indonesia. And I want to welcome Bayu from Commerce. Over to you, Bayu. Bayu, are you there? Hello, is Bayu around? I don't know whether it's just step out for a wee break or something like that. Is it possible that we bring forward Agape? Is Joseph there?
Hi.
My dear
Hi,
friend,
Melvin.
Joseph C. Okay. I tell you, Agape is my favorite. All right. I'm so sorry. I don't mean that the rest are not. But it's really favorite because I get myself involved with what they're doing. And Agape connecting people, working with offenders and ex-offenders. So over to you, Joseph.
Okay, thank you, Melvin. Thank you, ELC, TBN Asia, I think, for this opportunity to speak. We have heard stories from Sharon, Tamara, Stevens. I think I'm so inspired by your stories. It's always very rejuvenating. Okay, for myself, I'm Joseph. I'm the CEO for Agape Connecting People. This is a social enterprise that seeks to provide equal reskilling and employment opportunities because we feel that's the best way to provide sustainable community transformation. Now, who do we serve? We serve people from vulnerable communities. I'm sorry, today there are no slides, so it will be me plus a video that we have prepared. The vulnerable communities include prison inmates, ex-offenders, single moms, and people with disability. This company was set up by Anil David, an ex-offender himself, because he wanted to redeem himself for the forgiveness that he has received from the wife and the 2 daughters when he was serving time. Agape is a Greek word for unconditional love. And through, by setting up this company, he hoped to help other people like himself, and is also to earn back his right as a father as well as a husband. So this was set up nearly about 8 to 9 years ago. And to date, what we do is we equip these vulnerable communities in contact center work. This would be teaching them, giving them training on how to be contact center agents, how to handle the emails as well as live chat. The contact center, interestingly, is situated in the women's prison, Changi Women's Prison. So the contact center is actually inside the prison. And what we do is we train these female inmates on customer servicing skills, as well as providing them access to handling live calls, any problem solved. And through this work, we are hoping that they can pick themselves up, learn a new skill so that they be prepared when they come out. So this contact center has been running for a while. We also have a contact center somewhere in the eastern part of Singapore, Tai Seng, where we embrace offenders who leave the prison. We embrace them into the work, as well as single moms and fiscally challenged people. Now, we have impacted close to about 600 people to date, and the dream is to impact close to 1,000 by next year. Now, during this COVID situation, Agape was privileged to handle the National Care Hotline from the government. What we did was we provide a 24/7 hotline to allow people who are emotionally stressed up to call in, and we were supported by close to 500 mental health specialists. And we have been handling this call, and this has been really a good exercise for us. To date, what we are moving towards is, apart from the contact center business where we are employers ourselves, we have since shifted and included other lines of business. We set up a training and job placement center recently. This is to allow vulnerable communities, inclusive employers, to come together where they can have access to train local resources from the vulnerable communities. And we are privileged that we are supported both by DBS Foundation for the curriculum, and recently Barclays heard about our story and they came in to support us in the build-up. What we are seeing right now is 50, hundreds of people coming in every month to be trained on an internship. Now, there are 3 things that Agape is doing. Basically, is to help these vulnerable communities overcome self-limiting beliefs. That's the first thing. Second thing that we do is we are also creating an environment for them to be able to process pain in a non-judgmental and safe environment. And the third thing is, as they come out of this, we are helping them to create a better versions of themselves so that they can then start to aspire and start to learn and contribute back to society through meaningful work. Now, we have been very blessed with a lot of different partners. The ask right here is to be connected to more inclusive employers that wants to embrace diversity and inclusiveness in their work environment. Each of the people that we are training and job placing will be supported by a job coach so that we partner them throughout this whole journey. I'm just looking at how much time I have because my video is running for 3.5 minutes. Maybe at this point, I would like to pause and ask for Tiffany or David to play the video.
Yeah, that's great.
This is a newly fresh from the oven.
Really?
It's on the, before you play it, maybe I just give some background. These are images of the new premise where we are providing training and job placement. The video will feature 3 ladies, ex-offenders, single mothers that just came out from prison, and they went through a 1-month internship program with us. The good thing is they have been successfully job placed like many others, and we wanted to capture the journey that they have gone through, as well as some of the pain that they were going through as a result of coming out from prison. If the video is ready, anytime.
Yeah, Zoom tech.
All right, that's all from me today.
Yes. Thank you, Joseph. I mean, that's really a great story. You know, one of the things about the work is that not only is there such a great social impact because it turns people who actually have really make mistakes in society and giving them a second chance, right? So it's both dealing with the dignity of work. But one of the things that I like about Joseph and what Agape is doing is that they are also very, business mindset. Like, in other words, how do you first be sustainable? And right now they are involved with training. That means training and empowering so that the first level, which is really into giving them a telemarketing and call center work, can be scaled into other kinds of talents that perhaps this person who needs a second chance have. That's great. Thank you so much. And it's basically, if you Google Agape, you can see videos coming from Channel News Asia, coming from, I think, DBS Foundation, Temasek, and BBC as well. All right. I'm talking about British Broadcasting Corporation. So it's all there.
So
okay.
So there was a question on the link to the video. This video, because it just freshly came out, because this is a closed door audience, we decided to show this. We are still pending for some parts of the clearance. Once it's ready, I will put this on LinkedIn and share this over the Agape website. So this is not for distribution yet. I thought this came out fresh. I wanted to share all this with you're probably one of the first few audience to see this.
Wow, we are privileged, man. Yes, please hold this first. Okay. I mean, we are going to post this recording session up on the website and so on, only after we get all the necessary approvals. So thank you, Joseph. Thank you so much for coming in. And right now, there's another one that also.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Thanks, Joseph. Appreciate that. It's another one also that's really touching our hearts in working. This one is really from the Philippines, and my friend Sam running social enterprise that is called Regenesis. Over to you, Sam, to tell your story.
All right, David, if you could pull up the slides, that'll be good. Okay, good Afternoon, everyone. My name is Sam. Firstly, I would like to thank and acknowledge my sponsor, who was organized Melvin of TBN Asia, and effectively giving me an opportunity to talk about Regenesis. So 11 years ago, I moved to the Philippines and was working for Deutsche Bank. And while I was there, I met an anti-human trafficking organization at church that was talking about how they rescued women from sex trafficking. So it was a nice presentation, but afterwards I asked them how these women were reintegrated back into society. And I was disappointed with the answer. And what I found was that the reality is that survivors are often exploited again. So at that time, I'd worked for over 2 decades across 3 countries, running large business and technology operations for global banks like JP Morgan and Deutsche. And it got me thinking about how technology and the modern workplace could be the difference for these rescued women that remain stigmatized and put in the too hard basket. So next slide, please. So 7 years ago, I left my job in banking and created Regenesis, a world-class digital media editing company. Our mission is to provide computer-based careers for survivors of trafficking and abuse and those at risk of exploitation. Next slide. So what we do is high volume digital media editing, specifically for the real estate market. So this year we are on track to edit over 1 million photos. We are also a service provider to 3D technology companies, creating and enhancing virtual tours and other 3D products being used in real estate, construction, and the insurance industry. All right, next slide, thanks. So this is the heart of our business model and why clients come to us. We create tailored digital media services, which we execute using an enterprise-grade platform that allows us to process thousands of orders per day. And together with a skilled workforce that we have trained and developed, we end up with great results. So if you can go to the next slide. So our customers rave about our consistent delivery and quality. And we have experienced, as a result, a strong growth and have been profitable for the last few years. So all the profits are reinvested into hiring new staff, buying new computers, and developing new services. The projections shown here, so we have about 250 odd staff now. So the projections are based on the growth with our existing client base. So it doesn't take into account new clients. And as you can see, we'll reach about 600 by 2024. All right, next slide. So we have about 250 employees, as I mentioned. About 85% come from our target demographic. So that is trafficking survivors and those who are defined as at high risk of exploitation, including survivors of abuse, individuals who are in communities where trafficking or abuse is actively occurring. So you notice that the vulnerable category is large. About half of this category are siblings of those who have been trafficked or abused. Okay, next slide. Right, so look, at the end of the day, my dedication to Regenesis comes from the profound life transformation that we enable. So Leah here is one of our first employees and she's still with us. When she was 16 years old, she went for a job interview as a babysitter. And during the interview, she was assaulted and then enslaved for the next 2 years. And in that time, she was abused almost daily. She was finally rescued by the police after giving birth to a daughter. So the Leah that we see now is completely different compared to the Leah I met 7 years ago. She is now a team leader, looking after a pool of 25 editors. But more importantly, aside from this technical transformation, is the character transformation into a confident woman who now accepts and loves her child and is showing other survivors what happened in the past does not define them, that it is possible to walk free from the darkness into the light. What we see in Leah is a typical journey for our employees, and our vision is to see stories like Leah to be repeated thousands of times over the coming years all over the world. All right, next slide, please. So we are passionate about measuring processes and outcome, because of my banking background. So here we track outcomes, including their finances, health, and empowerment. One interesting stat here is PTSD. So we have found that quite a few of the shelters that we deal with.
Iya, tadi aku kelupaan juga untuk jadi satu. Begitu Ibu Sarah pulang, kok nggak diambil ininya ya. Jadi kira udah 10-15 menit.
Please mute, please mute.
Baiknya gimana?
You need to mute.
Okay. Ya deh.
All right, so one interesting stat is PTSD. So we found with some of the shelters that we work that they actually have little to no impact in reducing PTSD symptoms. In comparison, PTSD symptoms of our employees are nearly non-existent within 2 years after working at Regenesis. Next slide, please. So working alongside me is my wife, a medical doctor who developed the training and support programs that enable our employees to acquire the technical skills for work and also life skills in order to thrive. So she's also producing leading evidence-based research on how to help the recovery of trafficked and abuse survivors. Next slide. So our vision is to work directly in trafficking hotspots all over the world. So there are thousands of survivors like Leah. When I was first inspired to create this, I was told that survivors of trafficking or abuse could never consistently hold down a job, let alone an office job in front of a computer. And what we've shown the world is not just how to work with survivors, but what they're actually capable of. So this week, we started our second operation center in Nepal, where we partnering with several shelters. One shelter in particular will be employing girls from the lowest caste within the untouchable group who would otherwise be sold into prostitution. So we want to employ 10,000 in 10 years. And that is an achievable target given that outsourcing companies employ up to 200,000 people. So next slide. So this is a photo of our team in the Philippines. So it was taken in January last year. So if you can picture it, about 85% of them have overcome tremendous odds to be there, and each tell an incredible story of redemption and restoration. All right, and final slide. Next slide. Yep. So we are looking for introductions to C-suite in the following sectors. So please reach out to me if you're interested in helping us. As I mentioned, we are actively going into 3D tech, and we're working with some leading technology companies, 3D tech companies in the world. And again, it's the frontier that we believe represents the future for us. So thank you, everyone.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Sam. Really appreciate you checking in. Now, the work that Regenesis has done is actually really quite incredible, working with the distressed people, right? People who are distressed because they are victims of human trafficking. And right now, from Philippines, scale up to so many different nations. Wonderful. So one of those things, because of what he's involved with, BPO, business process outsourcing, is that they can work across the borders. All right. So one of those things, really, if you have all these contexts, whether it is in the few sectors, architecture, real estate, and so on, please get in touch with them, because the more business they can have, the more women and those who are involved with sex trafficking can have a new start in life, because all these kind of ills and vices in society, basically the root cause of it really is poverty.
Yes, that's true.
Okay.
And so I'll also in the chat box put a link to a mini documentary that was created just last year, and it's 20 minutes, but it gives a really good perspective of what we do.
Yeah, thank you. So really, after listening to this, I would ask for all the listeners, all the audience is, what am I going to do about what I know right now? So what you know right now would actually be forgotten in 2 weeks. That's about it, 2 weeks, because there's so many things that we are kind of like, inundated with, and we forget about it. But when you start taking action, connect, I think that's where it all begins, right? So thank you so much, Sam, for coming in. I know that you guys are super busy, and the business is profitable right now. We need to look for, even, for example, people who can come and help them scale, investors, so on. So there are different categories of people. Like I said, your time, your talent, and your treasure. You're all welcome to that. Thank you. Somebody said the link that is given is a dead link. Can someone look at it? I don't know which link we're talking about. Is it the Agape link, or is it the Regenesis link? I think they all combine it together, isn't it? That's why. That's why it is
my email, and then regenesisbpo.com is our website. We don't talk too much about our social impact there, right? Because again, we do need to guard the privacy of our employees. But please reach out to me via email, and just type my email in there too. And happy to have a conversation and collaborate.
Yes, thank you so much. Really appreciate that, Sam.
No
Thank you. And right now, when we're bringing back commerce, you remember Bayu? Well, okay, it's gonna go off somewhere to get connected for something, but he's back right now. And Bayu, you are really into the kind of training and recruitment kind of thing. Over to Indonesia right now, Bayu.
That's right. So I can start the presentation now.
Yes, please, Bayu.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Bayu from Commerce. Me as a founder and CEO, and we have an objective and aims to transform the life of rural Indonesian communities by unlocking e-commerce potentials. Next. So we start with the real story in a small village in our district in Purbalingga. So Indonesia is the most largest population country in Southeast Asia, right? But in Purbalingga, some of district that still in the top 10 lowest district in Central Java in Indonesia, and there is a Rian villagers, village youth that lack of job in their village, and she doesn't want to migrate to the big city, and she doesn't want to leave their family, and she hoped to find a job opportunity that give them proper income. And in the other hand, this is Mr. Aziz from Lumajang, East Java. He is SMEs that own fashion brand, and he very difficult to find capable people to handle and maximize internet penetration of their business. Next. Not only Riani and Mr. Aziz, but also a million of village youth and SMEs in Indonesia facing this problem also. A lot of village youth migrate to the big city because of the main factor is employment. They feel lack of job opportunity in the village, and the composition of the urban people around 50% coming from the rural people. And in the other hand, only small numbers, 13% of total 60 million SMEs in Indonesia have penetrated in the e-commerce, and the most of the factor is the lack of e-commerce skill, and some of SMEs very difficult and adapt to the dynamic and the technology changing. And some of SMEs also too much focus on production. And this impulse the numbers, the very small e-commerce penetration of SMEs. Next. That's why we create a commerce. Simply commerce is a solution that bridging villagers that we have been trained in e-commerce field, like to become digital advertiser, digital marketer, social media admin, marketplace admin, salesperson, customer service, content writer, and etc. in e-commerce field. All about the job skills in a scope of e-commerce. And with this collaboration, we hope the village youth gaining e-commerce skill, and then the village youth get monthly income that paid by SME, and the village youth keep stay in the village, and we also contribute to decrease the urbanization. And the SMEs can easily hire capable people through the commerce platform, and then they pay affordable salary compared with the high salary that they must pay in big city, just because just the minimum wage. And the SMEs also pay lower operational costs because they didn't need to prepare any office building and other operational costs. Next. And with these apps, with these two apps, the village youth can get potentially hired by SME, and the village youth can do attendance with this app, improve daily performance, and optimize the customer handling process, and then receive the salary from the SME. And all of activity that conduct by village youth can be monitored through this app by SME. Next. We hit 10% an opportunity which from serviceable addressable market that have market value around $500 million, and we use recurring business models. Next. Our revenue, our business model coming from the first step, the registration from the youth across Indonesia, both offline and online. When the training conduct through the offline, the process will, the youth will register, and then we do interview and screening, and then we do a training. Both the shortlisted youth offline and online will go to our talent pool platform. That with this platform, it's enabled to SME hire the youth. And then when the collaboration was started, the SMEs can monitor through the apps. And then in the monthly basis, in the early of month, SMEs paying to component of costs. The number one is monthly admin fee that paid to commerce around 20 to 40 per one single talent that hired by SMEs per month. And the second cost component is SMEs must paying salary to the village youth, which is the talent. But with our payment gateway, we charge some percentage from the talent's income or salary. Next. This is a story. Maybe you still remember the story of Mr. Aziz and Riani. Mr. Aziz collaborated with us since 2018, hiring the first talent with Riani. But now Mr. Aziz still collaborate with us with more talented hired by Mr. Aziz with a satisfaction good rate with more than 1,000 pieces or orders per month. Next. And this is our traction. We have been trained more than 1,000 youth across Indonesia, and we contribute to deliver, to distribute the monthly income around 80K US dollar per month. And our total user or SME was 800 SME. Next. Okay, so time is up, or I can continue, Melvin.
Thank you, Bayu. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
But it's really important. Bayu and Commerce is really one of our cohort, and we're very encouraged to see that he's actually a DBS Foundation awardee. So there is really something about what he's doing that's really scalable. I'd like you guys to tap into him. Who knows? Actually, over time, he'll be Indonesian Alibaba.
I mean,
yeah. That's great, isn't it? Because one of those things is that it enables the people that's down the line to be able to get income out of it. Okay. That's the key. And then, Indonesia ecosystem, 260 million people. Oh. It's big, especially when you need to get to those that are like beyond Jakarta, Surabaya, Medan, and so on. Get to the towns and the villages. That's really key. So we are very happy with what he is doing. He's a young man. He's got a young team. Please connect with him for Indonesia. All right. Thank you so much, Bayu. And right now, the finale. Okay. The last but not the least, we have a Singapore social enterprise that is called Sound of Art. Just think of the name. I mean, Sound of Art. it's like hearing, seeing together. And one of my just wonderful friends who are young but very innovative, Galvin. So I like to bring Galvin as well as Samantha. I don't know whether Samantha is right. And Galvin, over to you to share what's in your heart.
Sure, thank you, Melvin. Let me just get the remote control from David. Just a moment. Okay. Okay, let me just test out the remote control. Okay, I think it works. All right, hi, my name is Kelvin and I'm the co-founder and director of Sound of Art. Have you ever looked at a painting and wondered, what's the story behind this beautiful work of art? Or do you hope to engage guests at your home in meaningful conversations about life and faith? As an art gallery, we believe that our art has a positive impact on our clients. This painting on the right, titled Out of Darkness, was sold in a charity fundraiser at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic last year. Our client, who does not normally buy art, was deeply moved by the message of the painting. For him, it symbolized hope in a difficult year of COVID, reminding him of his own reconciliation with his father, and also for him coming out of an intense period of personal challenges. So what is Sound of Art? Sound of Art is an impact-driven art startup specializing in faith-inspired art. Our mission is to help artists. We support many hidden gems, emerging artists with the potential to make it big. When they do well, we do well. Now, Erica is one such artist. She's a Singaporean who relocated to KL, Malaysia, 12 years ago. 5 years ago, Erica picked up the paintbrush and fell in love with the craft. More recently, painting has been her source of comfort during the extended lockdowns in Malaysia, exacerbated by the fact that she has not been able to travel home in almost 2 years to visit her aging family members. However, Erica, as an artist, has still been able to support good causes in her homeland through several of our charity fundraisers. Erica paints from the heart, and her enormous talent has allowed her to inspire hope and positivity through art during these difficult times. So some people, let me just turn to the next slide. Some people call us an art gallery, but we think of ourselves more as a platform, using our entrepreneurial spirit and internet technology to create a global online marketplace for faith-inspired art. Second, offline gallery experience spaces in major cities. Third, refreshing and cutting-edge ways of presenting art, such as brand collaborations on merchandise like face masks, or graphic recording like what you see on the screen for an event like Eagles Conference. Now, let me just turn to the next slide. The global art market is worth, hang on, let me just move it. Just a moment. Okay. Let me just turn it to the next slide. All right. The global art market is worth $64 billion, but art is as much about the craft as it is about the story and marketing. For us as people of faith, we have great stories to tell. Everyone knows the Prince of Egypt movie, which you just saw on the slide. And 500 years ago, Western art at least, was filled with stories and themes of faith. Having worked with many artists, we realized they are great at their craft, but often not so good at marketing their work. So that is where Sound of Art adds value. We provide the platform to spread positive, life-giving messages of hope, beauty, love, and redemption through the arts. Ours is a unique voice in the fine arts, believing in art with a story, art for good, and art for impact. So what have you done in the last 1.5 years? In the last year and a half, we've built our base of 23 artists from Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong, Indonesia, and Mongolia. We've sold to many homes and offices, starting with Singapore. And we've also done quite a bit of charity partnerships, supporting 7 charities and raising over 100,000 Singapore dollars or 170,000 with government matching. Let me share with you a bit more on our charity partnerships. When COVID came, we had to cancel our launch event, but we did something more meaningful, channeling our efforts to raise 20,000 for COVID-related causes through a fundraiser. And fortunately for us, we got featured also on Singapore's national newspaper. And in early 2021, we partnered Glacy, one of our artists, to paint the Remembrance series, a story of a life well lived, told in 5 panel paintings with terminally ill patients. These were painted with the patients at HCA Hospice Care, which provides free medical care to the terminally ill. Glacy is another one of our star artists who only started painting 7 years ago. Our team decided as well to adapt the paintings for face masks. So we teamed up with one of the world's largest garment manufacturers, using technology from the Singapore government's A-Star Research Agency to produce face masks that kept people very safe and were also sold for fundraising. So through this, we raised a respectable 70,000 with an additional top-up of 70K from the Singapore government. So what's next? Well, we look forward to grow. First, by selling globally, online first, and with offline experience touchpoints. Second, we also want to give our artists more opportunities to collaborate with the best fashion brands, shopping malls, and public spaces, and more. And third, of course, to build our partner ecosystem, some of which you can see on the next slide. This slide shows you a bit of our ecosystem approach, working with many different parties. So now here's the most important question. How can you partner with us? Well, here are a couple of ways on the next slide that you can do so. First, if you're a brand, have our art collaborate with you on your merchandise. If you're an architect or interior designer, you can recommend our art and also be our distribution channel in Southeast Asia and beyond. If you are a venue owner, a space owner, a property developer, you can collaborate with us to beautify your space, but also receive a cut of every sale of an artwork. Or if you're an artist or you're connected to artist networks in Southeast Asia, do connect us to them and we can see how we can help these emerging artists in the region. Of course, if you're a nonprofit, raise funds through us. Art is a great way to raise funds and have fun. And you can also pray for us. Finally, if you just like art and you like to buy some art, we can certainly find something to suit your liking at every single price point. Just contact me on the slide, which you see right here. And it's not just for your home, but also for your offices. So that's the end of my presentation. I'm happy to take questions. If you'd like to follow up, just take a picture, a screenshot of this slide, and all my details are on the slide. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. You know, Gavin is a really innovative young man. We kind of like work together a little on you know, connecting with migrants in Singapore, and right now he's into this venture. It's great, but his heart is always about social impact, about making changes and transformation in people's life. Right now, those art pieces are actually fascinating. I like the animal prints.
Yeah.
And the zebra especially. Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to show you this face mask, which we also launched with the technology I mentioned earlier. So we also are starting to launch on this kind of merchandising collaboration as well.
Wait, can you zoom in? Zoom in. I know a camera. All right.
Yeah. So this is actually a limited edition artwork done by one of our renowned artists, and it features one of the orchids that is named after Nelson Mandela. So we did it as a collaboration with one of the local charities in Singapore to raise funds. But we strongly believe in doing good and also helping our artists grow their careers at the same time.
Yeah, thank you so much. And by the way, you know, this whole endeavor, Sarava, actually is a family endeavor. Eh? Kevin together with his parents. So that's great to see a family involved with social impact like that. All right, now if there are no questions, okay, there are two things I'd like to get you to do. So I want to thank all of you. I mean, we at our height, we've got about 70 over people log in. You know, we've gone through like 3 hours, more than 3 hours. Okay, and right now we still have about 50 over people logging in. Thank you so much, because I think those stories are very compelling and they come in rapid fire. Now, one of those things is where do we go from here? That's really the key. Okay, like I said again, don't just listen, because you listen and then you don't do anything. In 2 weeks you'll forget about all these things. You listen and then you ask yourself, what can I connect with? At least one social enterprise. Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, Cambodia, wherever, doesn't matter. Just connect with one, because that will lead to another. And that's your journey, perhaps the beginning into social impact. If you want to check out TBN Asia, you are welcome to do that. We can connect with you. You can be part of our expertise network to offer your time, talent, and treasure as well. The other thing is that for the conference, okay, this is like the ending of the conference. We are posting all the sessions into the ELC TBNA conference partnership for 30 days. If you have been invited to this conference or you are registered in this conference, you can avail yourself to all the recordings for 30 days starting Monday. Okay, now this is what we're going to do. We're going to do two other things. One is we're going to do a poll. All right, so I really appreciate your cooperation to help us do a poll, which is coming up. Okay, can we put up the poll? Well, I can't see from my end here.
Oh, it's up. It's up.
Oh, it's up, right? So everybody can see, right? Okay. Get the poll done up, and maybe you can, if it is within maybe 30 seconds or so, if we have some kind of a results, we can actually report that. All right. Now, before you all go, as you are doing the polling, we'd like all of you to, kind of enable your video. All right, so that we'll have a gallery and we take a screenshot of it. Okay, we take a screenshot of it. Is that okay with every one of you? I mean, I really, 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 from my heart, really appreciate all of you coming on. Okay, as they are tallying up the poll, can the host, David, or something like that, help us to do a screenshot? A screenshot of, we have at least 2 pages. Actually, we have 3 pages, but I think the few people will check out. All right, so those who are shy is okay. You are not forced to do that, but as much as possible, put your video on, and I just count. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Screenshot. Let's do a screenshot of the next page as well. On next page, a lot of people are not opening up their videos. Okay, we're gonna do that. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's great. Do we have the poll results? Maybe we can get Tiff or Bernice to report the poll results. Anybody?
Yeah, you should be able to see it, Melvin.
Oh, am I? Oh, okay. I got locked out. Doesn't matter. You all can see the poll results, right? Okay. And I just want to thank you for taking time. You know that while you are in room 2, room 1 is coming to a close as well, because they also have kind of like almost similar equal number of social enterprises that are being presented to another group of people. So on behalf of TBN Asia, from the team, thank you so much for all the Zoom tech that are involved with it, all our volunteers who are involved with it. We thank you so much for putting all your energies and your labor of love into it. So thank you. We're gonna let you know when TBN Asia conference will be on 2022. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Melvin and team.
Thank you. Thank you, Dorothy.